Undercover Season 2 takes our multilingual, multi-relationshiped, multi-flawed hero from Season 1, Bob, because that's his name, Bob, and throws him into another undercover operation, this time to bring down the Brothers Berger, international arms dealers, while one of those brothers owns a ranch and bar as a front. Coming from Dutch-speaking Belgium, all the normal hallmarks of quality are there. The story is complex and woven, and it doesn't just jump from one suspect or plotline to another, it all weaves together nicely. The photography is good, the dialogue, as far as I can tell from subtitles, is realistic, and the acting is good. In other words, it's Dutch Belgian. One thing that impressed me about the first season was how multi-layered it was, because of how many characters were deceiving different combinations of other characters in different ways. From about the third episode onwards, even if not very much seemed to be happening in a scene, you had to read what was going on beneath the surface in every scene. Season 2 keeps a lot of this, and at times it can feel almost overwhelming how much stuff is going on, which characters are telling which other characters different things, and it feels almost stressful. Bob's meant to feel stressed, and you feel that with him. This season is more focused on Bob losing control of these situations and his own life, and it did that pretty well. But it needed to do that in order to hold us, because these webs of deception just weren't as interesting. They weren't as believable, so it kind of needed you to feel emotionally stressed in order to be convinced enough to come along for the ride. It's sort of inevitable that second seasons of crime dramas feel more forced than first seasons, because the first season generally won't happen until there's an interesting idea. Or sometimes there needs to be an interesting idea. But second seasons will happen just because the first season happened, and that is definitely the case here. There is a very straight catalyst to throw us into season 2. And one thing is that I'm not sure it elicits the response from us that it was designed to make us really want this, but the other thing is I'm not sure it's really necessary. They're police. If the writing gods want them to have a new case, what's wrong with a well-written scene in which they're sat down and said, "This is your new case"? The Wire proved that this works perfectly well. But the other problem with second seasons is that if the first season is about a drug lord living in a caravan park, you don't question it. If it captures your interest enough, you'll watch it. But once it's captured your interest, you'll watch season 2, and you'll question every decision that is made about season 2, and wonder things like, why a ranch with country and western music and line dancing? It's sort of going to feel more forced no matter what it is. Personally, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole country and western ranch thing, because I hate that genre. I hate the clothes, I hate the music, I hate the food. You could not lure me to a ranch if it had free Q&A sessions with Scandinavian film composers, which I admit would be strange. But I think I kind of like the idea when used as a front for something vile and lucrative, because that's how I feel about the whole ranch kind of genre. It's like it should all be in good fun, but no one's actually having any fun, and everything is disgusting. That describes both arms dealing and ranches. As this story plays out, there are levels of control that the police and two different criminal groups wrestle with. It goes back and forth between who knows more and who thinks they know more, and therefore who has the real advantage. And this keeps it extremely watchable. I really enjoy this thing that Flemish series in particular seem to excel at, which is having characters who know more than us. So there'll be these operations that we feel quite stressed about because we don't know the plan. But very often, as the plan starts to be revealed to us, it'll change, go in a direction that even the character didn't know about, so it always feels a couple of steps ahead. In this season, maybe not quite as much, but still enough. I think the makers of this show wanted to stay within certain boundaries that were generally respected in season 1 also. For example, chronological storytelling. Non-chronology in these kinds of shows is extremely common, to the point that it can feel almost refreshing to sit down and watch something that has the confidence to play out in the order that it happened. But they do actually break it for one episode, and it's one of the best episodes in this season, so I wonder if it wouldn't have served them better to get really creative and mix it up here with the chronology, to do something that keeps the heart rate up a little bit like The Missing, because compared to season 1, This second season just seems to trudge along a little bit. So there really isn't anything wrong with season 2. It's perfectly okay, but there's also not a lot new going on. It's not so clever or thrilling as to raise the bar. The directing is fine, but it's nothing much once you've seen the day. If I were learning Flemish, I would happily add this to the pile along with Tabula Rasa, The 12, The Day, and the first season of Undercover. It's a perfectly acceptable show even for rewatching. It's just not the first season, and with the exception of The 12, it's not as good as its Flemish mates either. So for me at least, Dutch Belgium has done what they do so well, so consistently, that I'm a little bit spoiled. This is a perfectly decent, if not a little bit far-fetched, second season, but I've come to expect more, and I'm not saying that that's entirely the show's fault. If you watched and enjoyed season 1, then you should watch season 2. You'll also enjoy that. If for some reason season 1 wasn't to your taste, then don't worry about it at all. There's no way season 2 is going to change anything for that. If this video and non-English speaking series are to your taste, then make sure you've clicked the comment and subscribed to the button, because I've got a Russian series review for you coming very soon, and I'll see you with that one then. And thanks for watching. Bye.